Hey everyone, my name is Ridwan Chaudhary and I'm a second year civil engineering student from Lassonde School of Engineering. As a second year engineering student, I've had to take a course called project management. So, yep, you guessed it. The specific topic I'll be talking about today has to do with project management. It's not exactly the whole topic of project management, because if you're an aspiring engineer or you've already graduated engineering, you'll know that project management is a really broad topic. There's many branches, many different topics we can talk about, many theories, many ideas. So today I'd like to focus on a specific topic in project management for my lesson. The concept I'll be teaching you, I'll get into right away as soon as we get some definitions down. So before we start, I'd like to get two definitions down, two quick definitions, so not too much writing, hopefully. So let's get started. The first definition is something that might seem a bit silly. It is what is actually a project itself. So everyone knows what a project is. You guys do group projects, high school projects, university projects all the time. It's a very big part of engineering. But do you actually know how to define what a project is? Well, let's see. So a project is a complex, so it's not very simple. It can be, but most of the time it is complex. It's non-routine, because no one project is the same, exactly the same at least, and it's a one-time effort due to this, and it's limited by certain factors. So what factors is a project limited by? Well, there's resources, how much money you have, how much materialistic goods you have, how much capital you start off with. So budget also is a big factor. It's a type of resource, and also the performance specs. So what does the client want from you? What, for example, it could be dimensions, it could be specific tasks, specific functions. So what does the project ask of you? And these specifications are designed to meet the customer's needs, because the client or the customer is the one that's most important. Because client's needs. Alright, if you want to take some notes, you can. So that's exactly what a project is when you break it down into its essence. Alright, and number two, now that we know what a project is, we can get into a bit more of what the topic is about. So project management. I'll just write P for project management. So what exactly is project management? Project management is when you take your knowledge of projects and you apply it. So the application of your knowledge, but also your technical skills. So, for example, if the project is a geotechnical project or a transportation project, you would apply your technical skills in those areas accordingly. And use a lot of tools and techniques to a broad range of activities in order to meet requirements, such recs, of the particular project. So the requirements are very important. So what is the client asking of you? You need to use your knowledge and technical skills to apply them to meet the requirements of the particular project. And we'll get more into this in the specific topic that I'm talking about today. So now I'm glad we know these two different definitions. Hopefully you got these down pat, because you'll need them to understand more about project management. So now that we have these definitions down, we can move on to the next topic, the actual lesson, the specific concept being taught today. Alright, so let's move on to the actual lesson for the day. Alright, so our next board here will be our specific lesson for the day. Alright, so what exactly are we talking about in project management? Well, today I'll be teaching you about the project life cycle. Yep, the project life cycle is a really important part of project management. It defines the whole life of the project. What exactly goes into a project, the different phases of a project is really important as well. This will be covered in our lesson for the project life cycle. So yes, let's get started. So I'll do this diagram for you here. Here's a nice big box. Alright, so the project life cycle is split up. Let's actually make this a little bit bigger. project lifecycle is split up into 4 main parts. So let's number them right here. 1, 2, 3, and number 4 right here. Alright, so the bottom axis right here will be the time. So as it moves forward, it'll be closer to the end, and at the beginning it's closer to the start. And this axis right here will be the level of effort. So level of effort required in that specific phase, these 4 phases. Alright, so now that we have that box down, let's begin the first phase over here. It's called the defining phase. So definition. What exactly is the definition stage? So the definition stage, I'll switch markers up here. It is when we define the goals of a project. So what are we trying to accomplish in the project? Specifications. So what did the client provide? Maybe dimensions in this case. What are our constraints? 3 would be the tasks involved. So we'll have to outline all the tasks that we need to get done by the end of the project. And from that we can find everyone's responsibilities in the project and can be split up. Splitting up of the responsibilities is mostly done in the next stage, but first let's finish up this stage. So in terms of level of effort, it starts right at the beginning and it goes slightly high and it comes down before this middle of the whole project. Alright, so our next stage, let's see. What is our next stage? Our next stage is the planning stage. So the planning stage is probably the most crucial part of this whole project, because if the planning stage is not correct, or if it's not effective, then the whole project is at risk of going down or ending too early, or being cancelled because the planning was not done correctly. So what is involved in this? I'll change my marker. Schedules. So scheduling the project times, when everything will be finished, the dependency, as well as the different flow charts and lifetime of the project. How long will every task take? There's also budget planning that needs to be done. How much money we have, how much money can we spend on specific tasks. And 3 is risks. Also including in budget is also the resources that we have. And 3, risks. Risk management is really important. What risks can we identify that may cancel the project? Customer complaints. What may shorten the life? What risks may come into play that might bankrupt us in terms of budget? So we need to always take risks into account. And number 4 is staff. So this is where we actually find the best people for the job. We develop a team to make sure that they can do the tasks and take their responsibility seriously, and have the best staff possible for the project. Alright, and this planning stage starts right after the defining stage, and the level of effort goes a little bit higher, and it actually lasts quite a bit of time. But as the project goes further in, the level of effort of the planning goes down, because most of the planning is already being done. Alright, we're on number 3. So I'll switch markers one more time. The third stage is execution. So this, oops, I used the wrong marker. Alright, let's go back. Execution. So in execution, we actually have to conduct the actual project. So once the project is underway, we need status reports. What's going on with the project? Are we on time? Is the project being done properly? Is our budget still, is it still effective? Is it still working out? Number 2, changes. What changes do we have to make based on their status reports to actually get the project done in the end? And number 3 is the quality. There's a lot of quality insurance involved in project management. You have to always evaluate the quality as you're moving on with the project. Number 4, forecasts. So we always have to look at the future. Are we on time again? And will we make it in time for the project, or do we have to adjust some things? So all this goes hand in hand for the execution of the project. And at this stage, this is the most crucial part. This is the most effort related part, because it starts around here and it goes all the way up here. The level of effort is high right in the middle of the project, and then it starts going down as more delivery comes into play, and it goes right up until the end. That's great. We're done our 3 phases, and now we have one last phase to go. The last phase is the delivery phase. Delivery. Alright, so what exactly is delivery? Delivery phase is when we actually train the customer. We have to, in case if it's a service or something we're providing in that case, train customer. We can also transfer documents for signatures, so all the nitty-gritty stuff, transfer docs. 3, we actually release the resources, so whatever the deliverables are, we give it to the client. Release. Number 4, and lastly is we reflect on the lessons learned. So what lessons have we learned from this, and what lessons can we apply to the future, for future projects, and what we can learn from this to make our future projects better and develop better clients and better relationships with clients in the future. So this is kind of an outline of every single phase of the project lifecycle, and the delivery phase starts around the middle, starts around the 3/4 mark, comes up about here. The level of effort isn't too bad, and it comes all the way to the end. And there's your whole project lifecycle right there. The last thing I'd like to touch upon is how long exactly do each of these phases take relatively to each other. So I'll just take let's say the project is 10 weeks. Obviously this changes based on how many weeks a project would last. So I'll just, for the sake of this lesson, I'll condense it to 10 weeks. So the definition stage would last approximately 1 week. As long as it doesn't take too long, but it's still crucial. The planning stage is very crucial, and it takes much longer than the definition stage. In this case, of a 10-week project, approximately 3 weeks estimated average. Execution would be the longest because this is where the actual project is done. So 4 weeks for the execution stage, and last but not least, to actually deliver the project, it would take about 2 weeks. So 1, 3, 4, that's 8, and plus 2 is 10 weeks. So in a 10-week project, this would be sort of the breakdown of the actual project, give or take. Nothing's concrete. Some may take longer than others. Some may switch around due to changes or problems faced during the project life cycle, but this is a general idea of what the project life cycle would look like. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you learned a lot about the project life cycle. This is a very specific part of project management due to the lesson length today. I can't go over every single topic in project management, but if you're interested in project management, I hope you all the best in the career path. And for engineers, a very important part of their career as well. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson and learned a lot. Thank you for listening.